Good morning. Welcome back to G&H Honey Bees. It is Saturday, the 4th of July, 2026, and I'd like to wish all my American viewers a happy 4th of July. And we've been through another 2 days of overcast, cold weather, rain, and today the sun is starting to peek out again. You can see them nasty clouds hanging way over there. And it's just starting to warm up. It was only 11 degrees Celsius this morning, which is about 52 Fahrenheit. And I'm trying to get these boxes prepped for transporting them up to the bush where the fireweed is. So I've added a honey super onto this one. Whether they'll make honey or not, it's either they do or they don't. But I want to get them up to the bush in this configuration so I don't have to open them up right away and have them flying all over when they haven't oriented yet. So, but this queen is laying really well. They are expanding, and I'm just going to take them up there in this configuration and they can expand, and if they make honey, well, they do. And this box has been expanding exponentially. It's been, well, 3 days in a row before the rain. There was huge hatches of bees. They're getting a little stuffed out, so I've added another brood chamber to them. I haven't put a honey super on them yet, but I'm thinking about that. The little box here, they are slowly expanding, but they haven't got to a point where I can put a second box on it yet. And this box here was the nuke, and the queen appears to have gotten mated, and she was trying to lay, but because it was only a 4-frame nuke and there wasn't any brood to raise, they filled all 4 frames with honey or blackberry nectar. So I expanded them into the 10 frame and put an empty comb in between the other 4 frames I took out of the nuke, just so the queen would have some place to lay. So first thing I want to do is check on this one and see if she's actually laying good eggs or fertilized eggs. If she is, when we get into the big box at the end, I want to find a frame of older cap brood, and I'm going to put it in here to help give them a boost. So let's get into this box and have a quick look and see what is what. Let me get you stood up here. I've still got the burlaps in here because it's been so chilly at night. So the cluster of bees is all on this side. And it looks like they've been actually working on some of these outside frames. There was some honey, and there's not much in there, but they are, you can see the cappings in there, or the newer comb. They're working on it. So I'm just going to set that there. It's been about 5 days, so if it should show signs of brood. Well, there she is there. You see her there. She appears to be mated. And she's looking for places to lay. she's got, that frame is all laid up on that side. And I see eggs on that side. It's going to be 3 weeks before they start to hatch and expand. So that's why I want to add a frame of older brood in here so it gives them a little boost. And there's what I was looking for. There's cap brood. I don't see any elongated cells, so they're not drones. And there's a little bit on this side as well. But all those cells have larvae and eggs in them. Get in there. Wow, this is all full of larvae and eggs as well. So she's starting to lay up a storm. So I'm going to move them over, put them back. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I won't put another frame in here, but I'm going to put that frame back in there because they're working on it. And I can take one of these other frames here on this side and just shift this over this way and put another frame of cap brood in there. And that'll give them a good boost. Just going to stick the cover back on it for the time being. And then we're going to have a big look into this super tall colony. I'm going to have to stretch you up here a bit more. There. Wow. Second super is full of bees. And this was the super I stuck on here last week. So they're conditioning those frames, getting them ready to put food into them. Let's just have a Going out of the way. Yeah, they're just getting those frames ready. So that'll be all right. But what we want to look at is removing some of the weight from this box by removing some of this honey that's up here. Unless, of course, they've eaten it all since it's been cold and wet. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is pretty. It's not fully capped yet, but I'm going to take that out. Lighten the load. Come on, girl. Yeah, check that. I know the end isn't quite capped yet, but shake it. There's nothing coming out of it. It's not capped on the outside, and it's, you know, 2/3 of the way on the inside. Let's do a shake test. There's nothing coming out of that. I'm just going to replace these frames I'm taking out with drawn comb. Look at this one. I'm going to get you down here where you can see what I got. Not fully capped yet, but nothing is shaking out of it. So I'll show you one more and then I'll get this done. Yeah, there's nothing shaking out of that. There's that one. I think they're just trying to make those cells a little wider. Why do you want to hang up back there? So I'm going to turn you off because this is going to take a while, and don't want to make the video too long, but I'll come back when I get these frames all checked out and moved over. Alright, so I took the 8 frames from the right hand side back out. The more I got over this way, the less honey was in the frames. This outside frame they're just working on, so I've just left it, but all the rest of them are now fresh, empty frames. And what I'm doing now is I'm checking these outside food frames, and you can see that it's completely, or well, not completely, but almost completely capped on that side, and mostly on this side. So I'm going to store that away for winter food and just put empty brood frames in there. And maybe I'll leave that one. I'm just going to leave that one. Any little bit of extra weight I can get out of here, make it that much easier for us to move. Wow. Yeah, they just filled the brood frames with honey. I'm going to shake that one off and store it away. So I'm going to go through the rest of these. I imagine all these top frames are full of honey, so I'm going to take out what I can, and then we'll be back. So I finally found a frame of older brood here on both sides, and so I'm going to take that and put it in that other box. Alright, so that's done. It's back together. And that's ready for travel on Monday morning. But what I want to check now is the water content. So I've got my device here. Oh, that's nice and thick. I just take a swizzle stick, put it down on the cell, coat the lens, squish that over, squish it around a little bit so there's no air bubbles in there. Let's have a look. Well, I don't know if the camera can catch this or not. Let's see if I can put this. It says 15.5%. That is really, really good. So I am going to get ready to extract that because I can make use of those frames again. And I've got my frame of brood into the little box down there. They're sorted out. They've got more space for the queen now to lay. And I've lightened it up probably by 40 pounds at least. So it's going to make it somewhat easier to move. So anyway, hope you're all having a good weekend. And once again, happy 4th of July. You can see my smoker still, finally my smoker took off down there in the corner. So I got to put that out. Anyway, hope you're all having a good 4th of July down in the States. And we'll talk to you again on the next video. I may film some of the move to the bush, and you can see what that's all about. Alright, bye for now.